Hello Virgo and welcome to Truth Well Told Tarot. This is Andrea and I'm here to do your next 3 months tarot reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus, so I hope you're well. As always, the reading won't be for everyone. Take what resonates for you. So welcome Virgo, let's see what we have for you for the next 3 months. What I've done is I've taken your yearly 2024 tarot reading, which I will link below, and I've pulled out the relevant months. April, we have the Four of Swords, Knight of Swords is May, and the Emperor is June. We're going to pull some additional cards by month, look at the overarching messages, as well as any individual ones, because a lot can happen in 1 month, let alone 3, in different areas of our life. So let's see what we have for Virgo. Message for Virgo. So we have the Seven of Swords, the Chariot, we have the Queen of Swords. Could be the energy that you're adopting. You could be dealing with a person. Queen of Swords, in truth, clear thinking, logical reason, decisive, male or female if it's a person. Let's see what we have with the Knight of Swords. What do we have for Virgo? Message for Virgo. The Knight of Swords, Seven of Wands. The Lovers. And we have the Five of Pentacles. The Emperor. June time. We've got the Nine of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Wands. There is a message kind of across this here, Virgo, and I'm going to kind of start with that. It feels more focused on money aspects. Let's start with this. So the Four of Swords is your overarching energy. So again, it can be in whichever life area. The Four of Swords is sometimes when we feel that we might be rushing into something or we don't want to make a decision in haste. It can also be circumstances are asking us to think. This is that scenario where you need to think. Now, it can also be to do with sometimes needing to recover, recuperate, get your breath back, recharge. Sometimes there is a feeling with the Four of Swords of you might have gone through an intense period and need to catch your breath or find some kind of way if you're feeling that a circumstance is too much. How do I reevaluate this? How do I move forward? Sometimes it can be linked with that sense of finding a way to bring a solution to something that can be challenging or exhausting. So this can be very powerful in terms of taking a step back to think, reevaluate, reflect, but it does you the world of good. It can represent taking a little bit of time out to pause, because circumstances are likely asking you to do that. Whatever the circumstances, it feels like it's asking you to do that. Now, here, Virgo, this is about seeing the truth of a situation for what it is, whether someone's advising you in this situation here, or whether this is you seeing the truth of a situation. You know, no one can pull the wool over the Queen of Swords' eyes. You know, this is somebody who is really discerning, perceptive, sees, you know, she sits above the clouds. She's in the blue sky. Everything is very clear. She rises above the fog and gets clarity on a situation, gets to the very heart of the matter. So this is a scenario here where you might feel it's time, deep down, you're feeling it's time to move on from somewhere. Now, for a lot of you, it might well be to do with a money situation here. That could well be to do with, for some of you, moving or relocating. For others of you, it could well be a financial career thing. I think that sometimes we can feel this scenario where we feel a little bit threatened, where we feel, deep down, I feel it's time to take steps. And we can do that quite secretly, sometimes with the Seven of Swords. It can be about, with the Chariot, of overcoming some kind of issue or problem by taking the reins and taking action, moving from A to B, setting things in motion, because it might well be that you're perceiving some kind of problem. Now, it might well be here that it could be a health thing. It can sometimes be mental health. You might be an experience that's exhausting for some of you, tiring, taxing. And you're thinking, you know what, I need to reevaluate this. For others of you, it could well be some kind of threat to do with finances in some way. So I think that you're getting to the very heart of a matter here and understanding what needs to be done. When we deal with the lovers can be about partnerships of any kind, so it can be business, can be romantic, but there is a decision to be made here, and it could well be something that's affecting the relationship. Or if it's about a partnership, it could be the partnership itself. Because it might well be, for whatever reason, something is causing you to take a step back and reevaluate and think, you know what, if I'm being truly honest with myself or really getting to the very heart of the matter, I know deep down it's time to move on from this situation. I see you doing that. There could well be some important conversation that you're having with the Knight of Swords in May time. But the Seven of Wands is to defend and protect what you feel is important. It's about facing something, dealing with it and overcoming it through action and assertion, perseverance. Knowing that you have the power to do that as well with this kind of energy. But I feel it could well be to defend and protect your financial stability, especially if you're feeling that there could well be some financial loss or a business isn't performing well. It's time to make some kind of changes. For others of you, it can be energetic, the Five of Pentacles. I'm not made to feel good enough, valued, appreciated. I've not been given a bonus, a pay rise, advancement in some way in terms of money, career, finances, and I feel lack. I feel undervalued. So there is some choice to make here, I feel. And I think that you are slowly but surely getting to the very heart of the matter and deciding to move forward. And again, it might well be something that affects a relationship or is about some kind of partnership. The Emperor is significant in June because the Nine of Wands, the Six of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles is a sense here of one final step, one final push. But it might well be here that something is, you're going through an experience here where you're waiting. There is progress here. There is progress between May and June. Things are advancing in a particular direction and you're nearly at the end of persevering on a path and getting to the end of the issue here. There is victory here. So again, there may well be one final thing to do, but then I feel the cards are showing financial victory. The Ten of Pentacles, long-term stability, financial success and abundance. So you're bringing in the changes that you feel that you deserve. Is what I see for you here, Virgo. There is a key person of influence. This can be somebody in authority, a CEO, MD, owner of a company, can be very positive in terms of business career. The Emperor can also be an authority figure in terms of money as well. Can be government, state, legal, contractual, however that would be as well. But this is generally as a key person of influence, is influential in bringing financial success, long-term stability and security, financial success to you. I think that there is some issue to be faced here in April. And Spirit is telling you, look at the truth, see the truth, be open to take a step back and reevaluate because there is some kind of solution presented to you in the next 3 months. But it is all dependent on getting to the very heart of the matter and what this situation is, because that dictates the action that you should take. That identifies what the issue is, the problem is, and what the solution is through action. And I think that deep down you know what you need to do. that's right for you. Sometimes we do things a little bit secretly as well, but it's because it serves us. So this is what I see here, Virgo. I feel that there is some kind of, from the month of April, there is going to be a ripple effect, and it's quite a profound ripple effect. But actually it's leading to the solution that Spirit is identifying in this reading. Again, long-term stability, security, financial success, and abundance. The Six of Wands is victory, triumph, success, getting recognized and noticed, but also overcoming the issue, the problem that has faced you. It could also be to do with experiences that you might not be happy with. Something might be too exhausting and taxing. Whatever issue you are identifying, there is a solution presented to you in the next 3 months, which is profoundly positive. And this person is certainly on your side. So whatever the actions that you take in April have a ripple effect in where you're going to end up in June. And that's what I want to say to you here. So let's have a look at, and that was definitely a big message for you, certainly in terms of the next 3 months. That was really coming through clearly in the cards. Let's have a look at other areas of life. I mean, sometimes we just need to pause and reflect, take some time out. And that could well be advice for you as well, especially if you're tired and exhausted. You might need to kind of, as I always describe it, take the foot off the accelerator and just take a step back. Give yourself a little bit of time out. Do you the world of good. So the Seven of Swords, the Chariot, the Queen of Swords, it is that feeling here of deep down you know what you need to do to overcome some kind of challenge or problem. The Chariot is all about victory, triumph, and success. But it requires us taking the reins of a situation, getting into the driving seat, and really moving on from something that the chariot doesn't serve the charioteer anymore, and moving towards victory, triumph, and success. So there is something to be overcome here with the chariot, but victory can be yours. And that's what you're being told here. The chariot is always kind of a victorious energy, but it requires that sense of taking the reins of a situation, taking charge, and an opportunity to move on from something that has challenged you, some kind of obstacle, difficulty. Now, these can be also to do with if you have been deceived. The Seven of Swords can also be linked with deception. If you're dealing with a truth in a matter, you might be thinking, how best do I need to overcome this? How do I need to, can I overcome and heal with another individual, or is it time to fully move on from that circumstance? It can also be, like I said, linked with moving or relocating. There could also be an important journey. This can be a very positive travel card. So there could well be an important journey that you're making in April as well. It can also be, Virgo, to do with vehicles. Could be issues or purchasing of a new vehicle. The Chariot is all about, it can be about things like vehicles. So it might well be that there's a vehicle that's significant in April. But certainly with these energies, we have four cards in April. 3 of the swords are swords energy. Sorry, 3 of the cards are swords energy. So this is about using your mind, applying your thoughts, applying your discernment, perception, thinking, reflecting, and understanding what you need to do. Certainly how you rise above the clouds of a situation and find that kind of clear way forward that you know that you need to take. So this is that kind of scenario here, Virgo. Let's have a look at Maytime. So the Knight of Swords, there could well be the Knight of Swords can be to do with being very clear in terms of how you're moving forward. Where there has been some reflection in April, this month, in May, you're very clear in terms of how you're moving forward. You're very clear in terms of how you're acting in a decisive manner and where you're going. So plans might be very clear to you. what you want, how you're taking action, what you want to go for, the decisions that you've made. This is that sense of, you might find that sense of progress, things progressing, things moving forward in a very positive manner. The Knights do represent change. Now, that could also be to do with important conversations that you might be having. That could be professional, personal, but it might well be that there are significant conversations that you're having in May time that are powerfully influential for the month of May. The energy of the Seven of Wands, the Lovers, and the Five of Pentacles, like I said, there is a kind of financial situation that I saw with the next 3 months. So I'm going to leave the financial situation at that. But the only thing that I want to say here, Virgo, as well, the other thing to do with finances, the Seven of Wands, the Lovers, and the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles can also be to do with financial lack, in the sense that sometimes there can be overspending. So it can sometimes be a sign of being very careful in terms of spending and money and credit and all of this kind of thing. Because it might well be that there is a situation where, I mean, sometimes it can represent an unexpected bill where you're left feeling lack. So the Seven of Wands can be about defending against that. It might well be for some of you that there is a conversation in terms of a relationship on tightening the belt to do with money, on being very clear in terms of where you spend your money and not leaving yourself financially worse off. There could well be some significant conversation going on there. The Five of Pentacles can also be about someone feeling lack. That could be you or another person. So some kind of conversation where someone's not getting everything that they want or need in a relationship, not feeling valued and appreciated and heard. It might well be that that is brought to the fore here. This can be about really holding a position and having that conversation about why someone feels lack. So there is maybe some kind of issue, a decision about a relationship here, where it might well be that this is a conversation will clarify the way forward. It could be addressing someone feeling lack. That could be you, that could be another person. But generally with the Seven of Wands, we can always face it, deal with it, and overcome it. And it's having the strength and courage to do just that. The Lovers can represent decisions in any area of life as well. So there could just be some important decision. And again, with the Knight of Wands, some conversation that you need to have to make some kind of important decision. Now, it could even be with the Emperor. The Emperor can also be a father figure. So it might well be here, there could well be some decision here that is linked with the Emperor. So the Emperor, father of the tarot, can be a person in authority, person in charge. Like I said, that can be legal, official, bureaucratic, state, governmental, business. But it can also be a father figure. So there could well be some kind of choices and decisions to do with a father as well, between these two energies, these 2 months. So that's what I'm feeling really for May here, Virgo. I mean, the main kind of money message was coming through very clearly in terms of whatever happens in April, I feel is going to have a profound ripple effect by June in a very positive way. The Emperor, like I said, a person of influence, is a focus here, but generally quite positive and influential, certainly a decision maker. So the Nine of Wands is when you're nearly there, when you're nearly at the end of something that might have tested you, there's been perseverance. There may well be a temptation to give up with the Nine of Wands. It is an energy where we don't realize that we're actually near the end of a situation that has been testing, but it's taken a lot of action and determination and perseverance. But there is progress, like I said, between the months of May and June. And you're nearly at the end of something here. And I feel that it is completing. I do have a 10. So This is just when you think that it's always darkest before the dawn and you've been tested and you're tired and you're exhausted. There is a scenario here where there is a victory here, there is a triumph and there is a success. Now that could be separate to anything else that's gone before. This could be to do with a contract. It could well be to do with a family business, and things to do with a family business. It could well be to do with a legal situation of some kind where you're waiting on decisions. So this can be a very positive go-ahead, a very positive outcome to a situation where there is financial success as well. The Emperor, like I said, can be a key person of influence, generally in places of authority. So there would be a very positive sign here that certainly in the month of June, you are claiming some significant achievement, victory, and triumph and success. It's a very good money card, the Ten of Pentacles. It is also a 10, which is a completion. Something that you are persevering on. Don't give up, because you might want to, but it's actually literally one step away, and there is success here, Virgo. And this can also be very positive in terms of things like promotions, being recognized and being seen. Certainly, again, like I said before, if you haven't felt like that where you are, or if that has been an issue, is what I see for you here. I'm not really getting anything else from that here, Virgo. I just feel that the cards are being really clear. So that's what I have for you for the month of the next 3 months. I'm going to pull you an Archangel Michael message. I do want to say, the only thing about the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles is a very positive thing to do with retirement also. It can be to do with inheritance. It can be to do with family money, family business as well. Also very positive in terms of things to do with family, long-term committed relationships, marriages too. So again, those might feature again as an individual message for you in the next 3 months, but this is the month of June. Let's see what we have for you. What do we have as a message for our lovely Virgos? Thank you. I'll start again. Message for Virgo, thank you, for the month of June. Message for Virgo. Yeah, we have number 19, make a decision. Are you choosing to prioritize yourself or another in this situation? Accept divine guidance pointing you towards your own joy. You deserve it. Let's pull an energy message. What do we have for Virgo? Thank you. Angel, spirits, guides. Yeah. Change. I mean, I see that in the cards, but I think it's for the better. Number 12. The frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. Let's pull another message for you. What do we have for our lovely Virgos? Thank you. Message for Virgo. Next 3 months. Angel, spirits, guides. Message for Virgo. Thank you. I've got 2. Harvest. I love that. I think you are reaping the harvest. I mean, June is a very good money month in particular. We have number 43, harvest. As the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to harvest. I am ready to receive my all. Number 20, grace. Grace, blessing, come to me to set me free. And finally, let's pull a destiny message. What do we have for our lovely Virgos to finish off this reading? Angel, spirits, guides, message for Virgo. We have adventures. Let's read this out to you. So the picture is called The Lofty Waterfall. Something exciting is around the corner. You are entering a new frontier filled with expansive energy. Begin to look at your world in new and different ways. Something that you thought was mundane or someone whom you may have overlooked will open the door to new opportunities and a bigger and bolder way of living. Be willing to see the world around you in new ways. Don't be lulled into complacency. This card appears when you're ready to remove your blinders and take action, so life doesn't become stagnant and lackluster. It also can signify incredible spiritual attunement and spiritual voyages. Virgo, that's what I have for you as your next 3 months tarot reading. I hope you enjoyed your reading, found it helpful, useful. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe. I wish you a wonderful next 3 months and I will see you next time.